Eyewitness Weather forecast.
And a good Monday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking a duet of hot and humid days ahead of us before we see a return to some cooler weather over the next couple of days. So let's take a live look right now in downtown Utica, where it is currently hot, 87 degrees, dew point 68. Winds variable in direction at 4 miles an hour, so thankfully there is a slight breeze. It's ever so slight out there right now, though, still making it feel like 91 because of that dew point. And in case you're wondering how much, what's the difference between yesterday and today in terms of temperature, at least at this time, it's anywhere from 2 to 8 degrees warmer across most of our area. And in fact, it's even warmer than that as you head down toward the mid-Hudson Valley capital region, more like 10 to 13 degrees warmer, where it's into the low 90s compared to where it was at this time yesterday. So you've got, again, 87 in Utica. We have Syracuse, Herkimer, and Albany all at 90 degrees. And in Jefferson Heights, down toward the southern capital, the southern end of the capital region, it's 91. That appears to be the warm spot right now. Temperatures across, or dew points, I should say, across most, if not all of our area on either side of 70 degrees right now. And that means it's in the humid to even tropical category. So it kind of feels Florida, Georgia-like out there right now. And much of the Northeast is in the same boat, with the exception of Boston and Portland, which are at 75 and 78 respectively, right on the water, where you have a bit of a sea breeze. We have temperatures on the either side of 90 degrees, and those dew points are again in the upper 60s to right around 70. In Washington, D.C., it's 70 right now. Cleveland at 72, and I expect some of that to head our way as we go through the day tomorrow. So dew points will actually be on the rise during the overnight hours during the day tomorrow. Bangor, Maine, that's probably the place to be right now, 56 degrees for that dew point. The radar is dry right now, so even though we're dealing with a lot of humidity, we're not dealing with much, if any, moisture. Same cannot be said for portions of northeastern and central Ohio out there right now, where we're dealing with some strong to severe thunderstorms. Those will weaken and head toward the south as we go through the overnight hours, and we may see just a few clouds from that storm system, but other than that, not much, especially down toward the south. Tomorrow we'll see a west-northwesterly breeze with temperatures getting into the upper 80s and if not low 90s, and we will have a bit of a breeze out there, so at least that will help some, but again, not much relief from the heat and humidity other than that. And Wednesday will more than likely be dry, but as we head through late in the day, there could be some scattered showers and even a thunderstorm or two as we deal with a cold front. So again, temperatures either side of 90 degrees both days. Wednesday definitely looking like the wetter of the next two, but if you have any time off, I would definitely recommend heading up to Lake Ontario tomorrow, 80 to 85 with wave heights up to 2 feet. Same is true for Oneida Lake, a little bit warmer there, more like 85 to 90, and those heat index values 95 to 100 tomorrow, more like 90 to 95 as we go through Wednesday. But then look at this, as we close out the month of July and start the month of August, it'll certainly be cooler, yes, with the temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s, but at least we will be doing so on a dry note, and that includes the weekend, which looks absolutely beautiful at this point.
Now, Jordan, we've got the iNet camera right behind us here. We're seeing a little bit of a haze. I know you've been talking about Canadian wildfire smoke lately. Is that what we're being affected by today, or is this something else?
Yeah, so this is a combination of two things. You're right, the Canadian wildfire smoke because of the wind direction out of the west-northwest. So I suppose we could be seeing that again tomorrow, but also from the humidity that we're just dealing with out there right now, as is much of the East Coast, as you just saw.
All right, well, that explains that for anyone that was wondering why.
By Nye Automotive Group. Come see why it's gotta be Nye. Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking a duet of hazy, hot, humid days ahead of us before we see some more comfortable weather return for the end of the month. So let's take a look right now at downtown Utica, where it's still, even as of approaching 10:17 this evening, 74 degrees, dew point of 70. Also, the things that isn't helping much is the fact that we have a calm wind out there right now. So it feels rather warm, rather stagnant out there. And that's after we had a high today of 89 degrees. So 1 degree shy of 90. We were at 90 in Syracuse, and back in Albany it was 91. But still, you get the idea. A fairly hazy, hot, humid day, and we've got a couple of more of those ahead of us. Other temperatures from around the region at this time, we've got Boonville right now. Looks like that's the cool spot, 69 degrees. but it's still 80 degrees in Syracuse, and it's 78 in Camden right now. Same thing in Warrensburg, and it's 79 in Saratoga Springs. Those dew points, that's a measure of how much moisture is in the air. Upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. So that hasn't changed much since our 6 p.m. broadcast. So that indicates the fact that temperatures won't drop back much, I should say, from where they are right now. And that's we're in fairly good company. Most of us along the eastern seaboard, the northeast, have temperatures in the 70s to, again, right around 80 degrees in Syracuse. And it's still close to 85 to 90, both in New York City and Philadelphia. Hartford is at 70, and Washington, D.C. 86, again, as of 10:17 this evening. As far as those dew point values go, again, upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. The lowest dew point that we can find on this map is both Boston and Bangor at 65 degrees, but even there, it's still rather muggy, rather humid. The good news is that the radar is quiet, though, so that's a bit of good news that I have for you. And it's going to remain that way through tomorrow and through most of Wednesday as well. And we were also watching that line of showers and storms making its way through Ohio into western Pennsylvania, but because we've lost the daytime heating, or at least most of it, the radiational heating, that has kind of fizzled out and stayed toward our south. We could see some clouds overnight tonight, but no precipitation from those. Most of the day tomorrow is dry as well. Could see a few mid and high level clouds. Just a rather hot, warm day, feeling like between 95 and 100 degrees. And Wednesday is slightly cooler, but still ever so humid out there. And we could see some showers and storms in the afternoon. High temperatures between 85 and 90 both days. So again, steamy again tomorrow. Definitely more clouds and a few showers as we go through Wednesday. And if you've got the opportunity to head up to Lake Ontario tomorrow, definitely recommend it, with highs between 85 and 90, or 80 to 85. It's a little bit closer to 85 to 90 at Oneida Lake, with both spots wave heights 1 to 2 feet or less. The heat index values tomorrow between 90 and 95. Same thing as we go through Wednesday, give or take either day. More like 95 to 100 tomorrow, and then it's more like 90 to 95, I should say, as we go through Wednesday. But then once we get beyond that, through the last day of July and the first couple of days of August, we'll see a lot of sunshine, temperatures on either side of 80 degrees with low humidity, and it looks like the weekend is absolutely beautiful and dry at this point.
Well, Jordan, I think we can stand a couple of days of higher heat before cooling back down into the high 70s, because that looks like a gorgeous week.
I know, I'm definitely looking forward to it. We just have to get through the next 2 days, and then once beyond that, we're good to go.
All right, thank you, Jordan. The Baseball Hall of Fame.
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a good Monday evening to you once again. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking 2 more hot and humid days ahead of us before we see some absolutely beautiful weather return for the end of the week and into the weekend. Right now, it's still very muggy out there, approaching 11:11 this evening. Temperature is 72 degrees. That dew point not far behind at 70. So that not only means that there could be some patchy fog, especially in the suburban countryside areas as well, but that also means that the temperature won't drop much from where it is right now, because the dew point isn't dropping much, and obviously you can't have a lower temperature than you can the dew point. And also the wind is out of the east at 3 miles an hour, so that means most of us will end up right around 70 degrees overnight tonight. After temperatures approaching 90 degrees for many locations, most of us between 85 and 90. Syracuse and Norwich hitting 90 today. Warrensburg, same thing in Jefferson Heights. And in Albany, that was our warm spot at 91. So again, still fairly mild out there. Syracuse is at 80. We've got upper 60s to lower 70s here in our viewing area, and it's still 77 degrees in Saratoga Springs at this time. But those dew points out there right now, again, either side of 70, so within a couple of degrees of where the temperatures are for many locations, except for to the north, where you've got some middle and even some lower 60s in some cases. But at least we're in good company. Most of us along the East Coast in that boat of temperatures in the 70s to even 80 degrees out there right now. Philadelphia is still 87, New York City and Washington both at 83. The cool spot right now is Bangor, Maine at 68, if you can call it that. Not much cooler than where we are right now. And dew points are in the upper 60s to right around 70, with the exception of, again, Bangor, 64. That seems to be the place to be, northern and central Maine. As far as the radar goes, that's dry, and that's the case across the entire northeast region, with the exception of areas of western Pennsylvania down toward West Virginia and Ohio, where we're dealing with some showers and storms earlier this afternoon and this evening. But now that we've lost the radiational heating from the sun, the solar heating, you'll be losing out on much of that. Overnight tonight, we may see some clouds as well as some patchy fog. And then during the day tomorrow, we'll have a west-northwesterly wind, a lot of sunshine, maybe a few mid and high-level clouds. Temperatures into the 90s, feeling more like 95 to 100 with that humidity. Wednesday, we'll wake up again to the same thing, except Wednesday is slightly cooler, but still oh so humid. And then there is a slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm, especially as we head toward the afternoon and evening. And that's a cold front heading our way. So again, temperatures either side of 90 on both days. You'll want to head up to the lake, Oneida Lake and Ontario, up to 2 feet wave heights. And again, those feel like temperatures tomorrow between 95 and 100. A little bit cooler as we go through Wednesday, more like 90 to 95, but still oh so humid. Once we get beyond that, though, especially into Thursday, it's much cooler, even unseasonably so, but still, I don't think many of us will complain about that. Same goes for Friday. And Saturday and Sunday, this might be the nicest weekend of the summer so far. Temperatures between 75 and 80, and Monday a little bit warmer than that with a few more clouds.
A nice 3-day stretch of at least lower than average temperatures to end the week, right, Jordan?
Yeah, and those are the first couple of days of August, so I don't think many of us will be complaining about that, especially after the heat that we've got right now.
I think we can survive 2 more days of this.
I think so, too.
Still to come on Eyewitness News at 11.